Spring is coming, and with it, the ultimate smash burgers. Now you've seen all the rest. Now it's time for the best. Smokey Dave's Smoky, Savory Smashburger Smoked Hamburger with Smoked Cheddar Cheese. Oh yeah! Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting gastronomical episode of Smokey Dave Presents. On today's episodes, we're going to be going for an old classic, the classic smash burger. And as I said before, you may have tried the rest. Now, you need to try the best. We're going to smoke the hamburger and some cheddar cheese. And we're just going to make the best darn smash burgers you've ever seen or tasted. So, let's get started. Here I have about 3 pounds of fresh hamburger. This is 80-20. That's 80% lean to about 20% fat. And I'm going to place this in the freezer for about 30 to 45 minutes to get it nice and firm before it goes into the smoker. So I'm at the smoker, and I'm going to be using some of this alder that was gifted to me by my son and daughter-in-law, and that should produce a wonderful flavoring smoke for our hamburger. The smoke generator is producing smoke, so I'm going to put the hamburger in, and you can see that now that it's so firm from being frozen a little bit, it just slides in nicely. While our meat smokes, we're going to make our aioli and chop up all the rest of our ingredients. We'll start with a half a cup of mayonnaise and get that into a bowl. And along with that, we'll add 2 tablespoons of my green hot chili garlic sauce. Now, you saw my video, I made it red. You can use red or green. I happen to have some green, so that's what I'm using today. And then to that, we'll add 2 teaspoons of honey mustard. And we'll mix this together and we'll set it in the refrigerated covered for about 20-30 minutes at least to let those ingredients talk. And we're going to have a little bit more time than that because of course we're smoking the meat, and that meat's going to take 2 hours of smoking. In addition to this, we're going to slice some extra sharp Smokey Dave smoked cheddar. I'm using my cheese slicer at its thinnest settings right here. And I'm just going to slice a bunch of these up and get them ready for all these lovely smash burgers. And once our cheese is done, we're going to do a nice thin slice of tomato. We're going to slice our tomatoes real thin. I use a very sharp Imarco knife. Links down in the description. These are excellent knives. They're inexpensive, but they're very well made and very sharp. After our tomatoes done, we're going to make our sliced red onions. Again, very thin. This gives us the most flavor with the least possibility of pulling stuff out of the hamburger when you're trying to eat it. Now, not shown is I also chopped up that iceberg lettuce there. So I put that in a bowl, and now I'm going to be doing the final bit, which is our pickles. And I just took full-size dill pickles and I sliced them the lengthwise, as you see, to make nice, flat, thin pickle slices for our smash burgers. Well, 2 hours have gone by and the smoking is done. So I went out to the smoker to grab the hamburger. And you'll notice I am smoking a few other things in there for another video coming up. But we got our hamburger, and as you can see, it's got a nice patina from the smoking process. So we'll go upstairs and get this prepared. So now we're going to prepare our smashburger hamburger balls, I guess you would call them. Basically a meatball sized portion. And I'm going to season the outside of that just by grinding up some pepper, some sea salt, and a little garlic powder here right on the cutting board. And I'll just roll the meatballs right on that. So take a nice portion of this, roll it in your hands, and get into a nice tight little ball. You don't want too much meat because, of course, we're going to be smashing these flat. So we want a nice thin hamburger that's going to just pop with flavor. So that's about the size you want, a little bit bigger than a golf ball. And so I'll get all these rolled out. And then once that's done, we'll turn our attention towards toasting the buns, and then we'll be ready to head out to the grill. So I'm going to just put a little Kerrygold butter on these buns, throw them on the pizza stone and into the broiler at 400 degrees, and in just a couple of minutes, there you go. Now here's my impression of one of those YouTube flyby, the expensive Traeger or Green Egg grill. Mine is just a 20-year-old rebuilt Weber, and it'll cook those smash burgers just as good as any of those expensive grills. Oh yeah. I just wanted to take a little break here and ask you, if you enjoy what you're seeing here, would you consider subscribing and hitting the like button? Leave a comment. I always answer every comment if there's a question, and I appreciate every comment I get. If you want to be notified when we're dropping videos, hit that notification bell. And now I'd like to talk about something else. Somebody called me out saying that I wasn't really creating a smash burger because I didn't flatten the edges to within 3 angstroms and having a single molecule of hamburger at the edge for maximum crispiness. But I assure you, I smashed those burgers. In fact, let's go over what we're talking about when we say smash burger. So here's a little food for thought. Why do they call it a smash burger? What can we smash it with? Here's some things we could possibly smash our hamburgers with. But I don't think that's quite the way we want to do it. No, I think there's a better way. Let's get rid of this and get ourselves a real flat iron griddle. This cast iron griddle will go right on my Weber, along with this bacon press, which is also a burger press. And the nice thing about this particular model is it's got these ribs in the back that help release the hamburger a lot easier than a pure flat press might do. All right, let's get back to the grill and get going. Well, the griddle on our grill is now up to 500 degrees and we're ready to start cooking. I'll begin by throwing a half a stick of Kerrygold butter on that griddle and letting that melt down. Oops, got a little flameage there. I wish you could hear the sizzle of this. Unfortunately, my camera did not record it properly, so you'll just have to imagine it. So I'm going to put down the hamburger balls and we'll get ready to start smashing. So get the bacon press and we'll start pressing down those burgers. And we just want to put a nice pressure on it. And you can see even with the little ribs, had some trouble of it picking the burger up. But once it starts forming some grease, it won't stick to it at all anymore. So you just got to give it a little shake. And then just keep pressing that down. And then you can leave the press on the burgers while you're cooking. The only problem with my press, it has a wooden handle. So if you shut the top, it is possible that you'd start burning the handle. But that handle can easily be replaced with a piece of iron pipe. Should you want to leave it in to cook, just make sure you have an oven mitt to pick it up with. So we'll continue to cook on both sides, and I'll keep putting the press on there to keep it nice and flat. Oh yeah, look at that. So we're going to put that aioli that we made, we're going to put a dollop on each one of these burgers right while they're cooking. And then we'll apply our cheese to just 2 of the 4 burgers. Proper smashburger has cheese in between the patties. So I'm going to put 2 of those delicious smoked cheddar cheese slices on 2 of the patties here. We'll put the top down for a little bit just to let that melt just for a minute or 2. And then we'll apply them to our toasted buns. And there you have it. Oh yeah, that's money right there. And extremely delicious Smokey Dave's Smoked Smashburger. Now, don't you wish you had that in front of you right now? I know I do. But you see, I already ate it. But don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, it's no joke. When it comes to smash burgers, everything's better with smoke.